The Buffalo Naval Park was established in 1979 and is home to 3 American Navy vessels that have all been in war, protecting the waters of this great country. The USS Little Rock made 4 tours to the Mediterranean and 2 to the North Atlantic. USS The Sullivans was the World War II destroyer commissioned in response to the tragedy of the Sullivan brothers on board the USS Juno. And the USS Croaker had 6 World War II Pacific War patrols and was awarded 3 battle stars and claimed 11 enemy vessels. With park employees and many retired military experiencing unexplained paranormal events, could the Buffalo Naval Park house proof of an afterlife?
Part of my job here is I'm always the last man out. Whether it be a regular day at work or babysitting any type of event, I'm always the man who has to wait for everybody else to leave and then I have to lock up afterwards. Well, this particular story, maybe about 6 years ago, was just a regular day of work. It was actually a Friday night, so I get to lock up and I get to go home and I don't have to worry about coming back to work for a couple of days. Locking up all the ships, and this particular door, it is now locked on the inside, but at the time it locked from the outside. I lock this hatch, and I start walking off the ship. As I'm walking off the ship, I hear what sounds like multiple people banging from the inside of the door. And my first thought is not anything paranormal. My first thought is I just accidentally locked people inside the ship, and I'm like, oh crap, better let them out before, you know, they get really pissed and yell at my boss and I get in trouble. So I come back over to the door, I grab my key to unlock the hatch. When I unlock it, there is not anybody on the other side. I still don't think anything paranormal. I just think maybe they went down inside to try to find another way out. And mind you, this is the only open hatch. And if you guys have gone through in there, you see that most of the passageways are very narrow, and there's, you know, only room for one-way traffic. There's no way that you could go in there and then somebody could come out of that hatch, let alone multiple people, without you noticing. Well, I go into that hatch and I scour the entire ship, and I don't come up with anything. I mean, and I'm not making this up, I'm telling you, there were multiple people on the other side banging to get out. And when I open up the hatch, I come up with nothing. I never feel like I'm in danger, you know what I mean? I've never feared for my life, so I mean, there might be times where I get a little creeped out, because, you know, things are happening that I can't explain, but at the end of the day, you know, we managed to get along well enough. They're good guys, and I'm an alright guy, and we seem to get along alright.
All right, Benjamin, thanks a lot for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And sharing your stories with us.
Excellent. You guys have a safe night.
So welcome on board to the USS The Sullivans. It's in the Buffalo Naval Park here, and this is a pretty famous ship. This is the actual, the Sullivans was named after 5 brothers who had gone down on a ship called the Juno, the USS Juno, and had all died on the same ship. And this ship here, the Sullivans, is dedicated in their honor. So they were never actually on the ship, but this is basically a memorial to those brothers. There's the names of the 5 brothers, excuse me. And this one guy right here, front George, a lot of people here at the Naval Park believe that George is still here. Now, the story with George is that when he went down on the Juno, he actually lived initially and was on a raft with several other people that had survived this, the ship going down. What other people that survived the raft explain is that he kind of lost his mind and went swimming into the ocean and was almost immediately eaten by sharks. So, several years later, this ship was dedicated in honor as a military vessel in honor of the Sullivans, and it was dedicated by their mother, who lost all 5 of her sons on board the Juno. And people think that George Sullivan, even though he died in the ocean, somehow his soul swam over here.
Well, I guess we'll see if George is here tonight and wants to communicate.
All right, let's go.
Just when we were coming down here, I kind of heard a voice that made me look that way. As I was walking down here and kind of focused my eyes a little bit on there, I saw kind of, I guess the best way to describe it is a injured, darkened man, like maybe burns on the side of his face. But what stood out to me was from here up.
So this is a half of a torso of a man who was burned on the
front? Yeah, just the side of his face.
Let's walk in there. Do you mind? What's your stuff here? So are you still picking up this gentleman?
Oh, this is where it was.
Okay, now I want to let you know, immediately when you said that you picked up a man who you believe was partially burned, right here in this room, that holds a lot of weight, okay? This here, the USS The Sullivans, never actually lost a man during combat, okay? But a couple of its sister ships went down while they were at war. One of these sister ships right next to her had gone off with an explosion, and a lot of people went into the water after the ship exploded. And there's a lot of photos of the Sullivans actually helping these people up into the ships. A lot of these people were majorly burned, okay, from this explosion. A lot of them died right here in this room. And they laid the people that were burned from the ships on these tables, and a lot of them died. A lot of them died. So we believe that we have somebody that's possibly from that specific incident.
But definitely you have somebody here. Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
So this is a cruiser here. This is much bigger than the Sullivans. Now, I mean, what's your initial?
There's a lot.
Just coming over the bridge?
Just over, I call it the threshold, let's say. There's a lot going on the ship, and I'm thinking tonight's going to be a very active night.
Yeah.
I'm already being called already.
Why don't you lead the way? Boy, that could really give you a bad day, don't you think? So you want to take a trip in here, huh? So we're following you, Ashley. Where are we going? Where are you going?
I gotta be honest. A lot of blood.
Blood?
A lot of blood.
In this area here?
I mean, in this vicinity, in this room, I guess. I'm gonna.
Come on, man.
A gentleman died in here. And
Fact.
saying died is an understatement.
Fact.
Crossover quick,
Oh, that's a definite fact.
but blood everywhere.
That's also a fact.
Was he squished?
No, but it's
just like,
probably even worse than that. Now, this is something that is literally giving me chills down my arms that you're even in this room and talking about a death that's fast and lots of blood. Okay, this area is home to one of the most weirdest, craziest deaths I've ever heard of in my entire life. Okay, there was a worker in here, and these are the hydraulic lines for the missiles. Okay, while he was working, the hydraulic line snapped and it flapped around and hit him and injected him with hydraulic fluid, and in the millisecond his body was exploded.
I was asking if he was squished because the way it plays in my head, it's just like.
Yeah, when you said it happened fast, I mean it really
Oh
happened
yeah,
fast.
he crossed over fast, but it's just the amount of blood, and I mean when I say dive was an understatement. I mean if you were seeing what I saw right now, it's horrific. It's horrible.
Anybody can put that image in their head and lose sleep over it.
Absolutely.
All right, do you want to move on? We're gonna come back here later tonight.
Yeah. Really cool that as I walk through these ships, I still see people here. I still see people walking around. I still see people doing their jobs. It's like, it's still right.
I told you that we were here before. We actually investigated these ships 6 times before you even joined the team. So we do have a lot of evidence that we've acquired over these previous times that we were here. Okay, the first time we were here, the Senior Chief Petty Officer John Brandon gave us a tour of the ships, and at the end of the tour, he kind of sums it up. He's like, he goes, to sum it up, Cam, he goes, it's almost like they're still here working on the ships. Now, later in that night, I told you we got a photo of some apparitions on the deck of the Little Rock, where a gun mount used to be. Okay, we have this photo where we can clearly show 2 men working on this mount, almost like they're still here on the ship, just doing their daily routines.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Let me ask you something.
Yep.
Does the name Eddie mean anything to you in relation to this ship? I'll let you know why I'm saying that. There are people still here that are crossed that are bringing up this Eddie. This Eddie, it's almost like, I don't know if he works on here or used to give tours, but they really like him and they're messing with him, and they asked about Eddie.
You can talk to our liaison.
Okay.
Actually, this is the spot where we got this photo of what I explained as 2 gentlemen, kind of like they're still here working on the ship. Now, the shot's taken down this way, and you can see this in the photo. This used to be a gun mount. All right, now, when these guns are active, it took 2 people to work the gun. So, what we see in this photo is a man on the right that looks like he's bent over at a 90-degree angle, and there's a man standing on the left, and his body a little distorts, but he's pretty much standing straight up. And as far as residual type things that we've caught over our careers as in the paranormal, this really stands out as one of the top things that we have in our evidence locker. Okay, so that's a main thing of why we want you on this ship, and to help us kind of turn the corner on the evidence that we've already been able to accumulate. Okay. All right, so let's go meet up with the team. Okay, we're going to have a meeting in the conference room, and we're going to debrief everybody on the history of the ships and what to expect as far as their investigation here tonight, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, let's go. Thank you guys for coming out to Buffalo Naval Park here to obviously investigate these 3 different naval vessels that they have inside the harbor. The most famous of the 3 ships is the USS The Sullivans. Okay, it's actually the only ship in the U.S. fleet that has the name "the" actually in the title. So it's USS The Sullivans, and this is a memorial ship that was dedicated to 5 brothers that all died on the same ship, the USS Juno, in World War II. Now, this had changed a lot of military laws when all these 5 brothers went down on the same ship. It's a lot like that movie Saving Private Ryan, where all the brothers all died in the same. Okay, so as the Navy, progressed through this tragedy, at the end they put in the law that brothers aren't allowed to be on the same vessel because of the fact that if the vessel goes down, that mother just lost all of her children. And it was dedicated and named the Sullivans, almost as a rallying cry for the USS troops that were fighting in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, now it was considered a lucky ship. It didn't really have any casualties of war on that ship. Now there was deaths on that ship, and Ashley and I, while Ashley was doing her walkthrough, was able to touch up on exactly what happened here with that ship. Ashley, just give us a little bit of what you were able to experience on the Sullivans.
First thing I saw was a apparition of a male from torso to head, and what stood out to me was half the face was burned. That was the first thing.
Yeah.
Injured, darkened man, maybe burns on the side of his face.
That really kind of hits home with that specific area that you were in. She was inside the eating area, the cafeteria, if you will, of the Sullivans. Now, during one of the combat missions in the Pacific, a ship that was next to the Sullivans had went down and was actually hit with fire, and the ship had an explosion on it, and a lot of these people in this explosion were blown right into the water. And these people, the survivors, were picked up by the Sullivans and pulled up on board, and they took them into that cafeteria area and laid them out on the tables. Most of them were all badly burned, and a lot of them died in that spot.
Were you getting anything from him, or was he happy, unhappy, or
he was just very.
Was it maybe like a real? Or?
No, it was no residual, nothing like that. He was there, wanted himself
to be seen.
Absolutely.
I mean, we walked through the whole ship on the Sullivans, and I mean that was a very significant moment in your walk through that particular place. So we definitely want to go back there and investigate and see if he can communicate with us and maybe put this link together. I mean, the stories make sense, but hopefully we can get some sort of communication from him if he'd like to try. Okay, now also we have on our itinerary for tonight is the Little Rock, the USS Little Rock. This ship has, unlike the Sullivans right next door, has seen a lot of casualties of war on board this ship. A lot of them are just as gruesome as you can imagine during wartime. One of the deaths here is one of the most gruesome that I've ever heard of, and almost immediately our psychic medium Ashley had taken me to this place and gave me a lot of clues that indicated that that was the same incident. And why don't you just go ahead and share what we encountered there?
Well, to be honest, it was like nothing I've ever seen before. Never ever doing this had I seen something so gruesome. A lot of blood. First thing that came to mind was this person passed quickly, crossed over quickly, lots of blood, and it was almost like, it's so hard to describe, just like crossed over quick.
Oh, that's a definite fact.
But blood everywhere.
That's also a fact.
But you don't know what happened?
No, we know what happened.
Yeah.
There was an incident that these people at the Naval Park don't really talk about very much. This is something that
I've tried to dig out of the employees that happened here. This is somebody was working in the hydraulics chamber for where the missiles fire in the front of the ship, and one of the hydraulic lines snapped, and the line hit this guy, and as soon as it touched his skin, it injected his body with so much hydraulic fluid. Within a split second, his body literally exploded. When she walked into that room and started telling me the story of this gruesome death, my whole body just started getting chills. I couldn't believe that she had picked that up, because I know not a lot of people know that story. And also with the one in the Sullivans, yeah, that's on the ship. The Little Rock.
It's a lot. I gotta be honest. Going from the Sullivans to here, this just has so much more activity. And the cool thing about these ships is, I was telling Cam, it's like everyone's still here. Everyone's still scurrying about. Everyone's still doing their jobs. You hear the clinking and the clanking. It's amazing.
What do you think would make them want to come back and spend their afterlife here?
I don't think anyone's stuck here, first of all. I just think that this could have been a place where their jobs were, obviously a place that they loved, like family. These people are put together in the ship and they grow close. They're family, and it's just something that they
take it for what it is. We investigate a lot of different homes and people that have attachment to where they lived. Well, while this ship was at sea, this was the home for over 1,200 sailors on board the Little Rock.
And you relied on everybody to keep you alive.
Yeah, that was
your
family.
It was a family. They were together all the time.
Even after death, I mean, this is still home, right? So that could explain a lot of the reasons that people are having these experiences aboard the Little Rock and the Sullivans here at the Buffalo Naval Park. All right, so tonight we have a great treat. We bring you guys on board here to investigate the Buffalo Naval Park with us. Now, you guys did have a long week, behind you, and a couple more weeks ahead of you, filming the brand new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie here in Buffalo. And you guys are part of the crew that's actually putting this production together. That's closed down to 33,
yes.
And it's been taking me forever to get to work.
Blowing stuff up.
Exactly, which is really cool.
Week. Yeah. Yep. You're from Buffalo.
Yes, I am.
Where are you guys from?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm from Northwest Ohio, Toledo area.
Okay. So what are your guys' experience filming the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie here in Buffalo?
Well, it's second unit, so it's a lot of stunts, a lot of car chasing, a little bit of blowing stuff up. We get to rip at least one of our vehicles in half.
Yes, so that was very cool.
That was pretty cool. We got a lot of neighbors out. It's been a great experience for working in Buffalo with everybody coming out. And the way we are, pedestrians get to basically come right up to us, get to watch from above, and really get a piece of Hollywood.
So what do you think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles new movie is going to do in the theater? You think it's going to be a hit?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, it's part of a big franchise. From the '80s. Anybody that's younger, you grew up watching the originals, and this, with the technology that's today, this is all the more better for this generation because it makes more sense to them to see how films are made now as opposed to 20 years ago when it was all puppets. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
That's a lot of CGI now.
Trust me when I tell you guys, to have you guys here filming inside our city that we love is a big deal to us, and we want to show you guys a great night here tonight. We're going to change everything up for you guys a little bit, and we're going to put you inside these three, naval vessels that are all claimed to have paranormal activity. There's ghosts. We have investigated this place before, and we have found evidence of paranormal activity of ghosts here on the Little Rock and the Sullivans.
Well, with what we do, it's going to be hard to make us believe it.
No, it
absolutely.
won't. You'll believe it. But they've never done an investigation
right.
before. So they are ghost investigating virgins.
Yeah,
really.
We are.
This is gonna be.
I'm glad you used the word because I was going to use it. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, no,
well, you're a virgin of a different kind.
Look, you guys are the perfect people that we want on set filming a paranormal investigation. You guys do the effects and the special things that go into movie magic for Hollywood movies. Okay? So, welcome to our world. All right? Let's get you
We're glad to be here, guys.
Get you suited up and get you investigating. Okay?
All right.
Take us away.
I just
spirits came through, and they were jokingly asking about someone named Eddie, how they liked to tease and mess with Eddie. There are people still here that are crossed that are bringing up this Eddie. This Eddie, it's almost like, I don't know if he works on here or used to give tours, but they really like him and they're messing with him, and they asked about Eddie.
We do have a gentleman, a good friend of mine, Eddie Kirkwood, who's worked on the ship somewhere between 25, 30 years. He just spent quite a bit of time on the ship, and he does have, well, he's not here tonight, but if he were, he would tell you some stories.
Okay.
So yeah, he's been interviewed by other different paranormal groups, and he has some interesting things to say.
Yeah, they just like jokingly. Oh,
yeah, well,
we love messing with Eddie, so I had to find out who this Eddie person was.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's spent enough time on the ship, so he, they spent enough time with each other.
Makes sense. All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
If you guys are with me on this, I mean, as soon as we walked into this room, it kind of feels a little different, right?
Yeah,
I definitely feel uneasy.
Okay. Now, remember earlier when I was telling you about how the Sullivans came to the rescue of another ship? That ship was exploded and pulled their, dying onto board here, and this is the area where they used as like a treatment center for their wounded brethren. And a lot of these people had died here, and a lot of them were burned to death from the explosion of the other ship, and that's something that, really that it actually, hit a home run on when she walked in here. This guy here is George Mendoza. All right, George Mendoza is famous for the Times Square photo, the year that we won the war in World War II. Everybody seen that picture before?
Yep.
All right, that's George Mendoza. George Mendoza stepped foot off of this ship in the New York City harbor. Saw the first nurse that he saw. He grabbed her and gave her a kiss because we just won the war. And this is the ship that George Mendoza served his naval career on. And this is a little, plaque commemorating that occasion. That's one of the most famous photos ever taken in history.
At the same time, we kind of looked at each other like, yeah, we're being watched. It was just, you step right here and the feeling's completely different.
No, actually, obviously, when we were here before on our walkthrough, you visually saw one of these gentlemen here that was trying to communicate with you in some way by showing himself to you. Do you still pick him up right now?
Yes, he's here, and there is somebody else here, and I feel like they've been on the tour with us as well. As much as we want to open and communicate and learn things, it's kind of like they're the same. They wanted the same about us.
Okay, I'm going to put out a K2 meter as well and see if we can pick up any energy fluctuations that might be.
You know what, I just want to point out that nothing coming through there, it's actually good as well. It validates this device, you know what I mean? That it's not just a radio, you know what I mean?
Now, you've been taking a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, and what are you getting that's making you take those pictures? Because you were looking in the same place we were looking. Yeah, in the next room, where are those beds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just it is very one word, just heavy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is. This whole area, like this whole shit.
Right.
You know.
See where the light is?
That's what I've been looking for.
It was clearly a shadow that just passed along that wall.
And there's a hallway back there too.
I think looking at the doors open to see
Yeah. Well, you were taking pictures that way too.
Yep, that's what I was trying to catch it.
Should we try some EVPs, Cam?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Willie always gets the one.
And we're going to shut down this line of communication.
Sorry.
Okay, so we'll just do it for like, I don't know, like a minute. Last questions. In between the questions, just give like, I don't know, 6-7 seconds.
Regular conversation.
Yeah, you just got to make sure you're giving time in between the questions for them to answer. Sure.
First EVP session. We come here with respect. We just want to communicate with you. We mean you no harm. Can you please tell us your name?
tell me the story of the Sullivan brothers?
George, you with us?
We hear that some of the people here like to pick on some of the staff. Is there anybody that wants to come forward on that one?
Want to play that back, Lou?
Yeah. We got 2 minutes. Whoa, that's awesome! Hell yeah, dude.
As soon as we point them out.
Right over there, and it says something. Right there!
Wow.
Dude, that's crystal clear. I have no idea what it says, but it's definitely an EVP.
It's like you pointed out and went.
Wow, dude, that's incredible.
Tonight we have some special guests here with us. We have Jessica Giuliano, and she is from Phenomenon Trackers, which is our public ghost hunting meetup group.
Yep, that's right. I've been coming to the public hunts with this group for over a year now, and I'm lucky enough to be in the battleships with them.
The other guest investigator we have here with us tonight is Kevin Schmidt, who is currently working as a production assistant on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie here in Buffalo. And he's really excited to be joining us tonight. It's his first ghost hunt.
Yes, it is, and I like she said, I am really excited. And again, I want to thank Lynn for having us out tonight.
And you actually have a history of researching and a love for our past history.
Right, I am, especially here in Buffalo, but also in World War II. I have an extensive background in local history and World War II history. I've been to Normandy, I've been to concentration camp. Anything World War II just fascinates me, and this is a great thrill for me. Yes, yeah. I mean I've been on the ships before when I was little, but never to this extent.
Not at night.
Yeah. Not at night.
Not doing what we're about to do.
And if anyone's interested in doing this with us at some time, the public hunts, go to meetup.com and look up Phenomenon Trackers.
Yes.
And join us.
Yeah, come join us. And we're going to go first. Okay, so the first place that we're going to be investigating here on the USS Little Rock is the hydraulic room. Unfortunately, it was the scene of a horrible accident.
His body was exploded. Exploded.
We're going to go in and check out and see if we can make contact. Let's go.
See, Lynn, right around here is where I start to feel that heavy feeling.
Yeah, right here.
Yes, right in this area here.
We came into this room where the accident was supposed to happen. All of us got this heavy feeling, heavy on the chest, hard to breathe.
Yeah.
You can just
There's
feel
a lot of pressure. Like you gotta cut it with a knife.
It takes to get a full breath that you have to really make an effort. So it's
And it's only up to a certain point when you walk up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
the rest of the way in,
yeah.
you know, it's fine. You get to a certain point and it just hits you like a ton of bricks.
Exactly. Why don't you come out and talk to us? We just want to know a little bit more about you.
I'm shaking right now.
Now that hasn't gone off the entire time we've been here except when we were up against an electrical outlet. So we're still waiting for some contact except for the noise that we heard back here, and that's what we're doing back here now. I think I'm actually going to turn on the Obelisk 3 now.
Okay.
Good idea. This machine is basically preloaded with 2,000 words, and the theory behind how this works is that each individual word is set to a different energy level, so that a spirit can manipulate this by a specific energy level to bring out the word that they want to communicate with us. So I'm going to turn it on, and we're going to see if maybe... What did you say? That's just it turning on. Oh. It's a dictionary mode.
I thought he said I'm not in the mood.
Well, that might...
I've got a headache.
I feel like actually...
That's right.
Do you feel that?
It's very heavy. It's dense.
And I'm obviously like shaking when you took the... I have like a nauseous feeling, and I don't know if it's the smell in here or...
See, I don't smell like I can't breathe in here.
Do you want to change positions, maybe?
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Did your body feel like it was squeezed as that hydraulic fluid was flowing through your body?
Was he squished?
Hello?
So where did we walk to, right?
Yeah, you go.
Who's here?
Who moved that? Was it?
No, it's down there.
What the fuck? That was it?
No, that wasn't us.
Someone. Oh my god, dude.
Yo, was
I
that
saw that move.
walking?
I saw it move.
Yes.
Yeah. That changed. Someone like they went down there.
Every hair
You could feel like a change in temperature.
Every
you
hair
feel like the
standing
colder
up.
air coming
Holy
up.
shit.
Who's here with us?
Whoa. Dude, alright. Do that again.
Should we go down there? Probably should go down there.
Get that for some matches. Yeah, I got your one. I got the...
Hello?
Again, you brought us to this room. That's our guys.
Whoa, was that you guys?
No. That big movement? That's not you guys?
That was
No.
them. Holy shit.
What do you mean?
That was right above
I
us.
swear to
here.
God, we were
All
just
those
walking,
studs.
dude.
That was the table moving or something like that. That was
Hello?
heavy.
When I jumped up and did it, can you hear me? We're standing right there, and right on the stair, the chain moved and squeaked all by itself.
Yep.
Like someone was
I saw
coming
it
down
move.
the stairs.
Got it on camera?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
We get definitely the sound on camera.
I moved it with my eyes.
We're not moving.
Is there somebody following us?
Where do you want us to go? It's the voices in here. You have our attention.
Someone behind you? I hear someone behind me. So
Yeah,
I keep
no,
turning
me too.
around.
There's nobody behind you?
No.
Every step of the way they're with us.
Is George Sullivan here? George, a lot of people think that they've encountered you here on this ship. Were you able to make it here?
sitting here in the cheap.
Shh. Dude, I totally heard that too.
Growl, dude. I just heard a growl.
I fucking totally heard that.
Get out of the way.
Yo, hang on a second.
There was a fucking weird growl. I heard a growl.
I fucking.
Is anybody here?
Yo, I totally heard that.
I heard. That was scary. That was freaking scary.
It's okay.
No, I don't like evil stuff.
I heard you.
I don't like evil stuff. That was
I
evil.
Heard you. I totally heard you.
In the name of Jesus, you stay away from us. Don't come near us.
Look at my... Dude. That was fucked up.
Are you
heard that,
from
right,
God?
Kathy? I'm not going nuts.
I totally heard it.
God?
You heard it too?
I totally heard it.
Are you from the other side? I swear to God. I swear to freaking God. I heard that. That scared the freak out of me.
You're not allowed to harm us in any way.
No.
We came to communicate with you, so if you have anything to say to us...
It sounded like it was right here.
Yo, I just
got... Tell me who you are.
I just got hella dizzy, dude.
So am I, dude. I'm getting like kind of like...
Alright, so guys...
Yeah, I am getting dizzy.
Everybody calm down.
No,
alright? Do you want to get off the ship?
No.
Okay. Well, then let's get to investigating, okay? Keep moving forward.